Rant summer is here. Head on over to AJsRANTroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered. From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to AJsRANTroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed. It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed.
Lord. I just had a complete bimbo moment. I sending out the wrong links to people. This is why I need a team. What's up, everybody? Welcome. It is Friday in these streets. Hold on. Did I mess that? Oh, I didn't mess that one up. But okay. I think, I remember what I told y'all about being a producer or being the tech team or being the talent at the time of the show. You got to pick a side. You can't be both. This is what happens when you're both. But what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all is good in these streets. We have a great show planned for you for the next hour. Hope all is good. Let's start with our favorite homie, Mr. Mello. Karmelo Anthony. We have a trial date. Homeboy. And of course, like I said yesterday, I was hoping it wasn't, so far in the future. But of course, it's far in the future because that's what the legal system wants to do, is wants to torture me. Trial date set for Karmelo Anthony and fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf at Frisco track meet. A trial date has been set in the high-profile murder case against 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, the former Frisco Centennial High School student accused of fatally stabbing fellow teen Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet. The trial is scheduled for June 1, 2026. In Collin County District Court with Judge John Roach assigned to the case. I know he got teased relentlessly for that name. The case, which drew national attention, stems from a deadly confrontation on April 2nd at that stadium's name that I still can't say, involving students from two Frisco ISD high schools. In late June, Anthony was indicted on a murder charge by a grand jury. Prosecutors alleged that he intentionally stabbed Metcalf, a student athlete at Frisco Memorial High School, during a dispute at a track meet. Anthony's legal team has argued that the stabbing was an act of self-defense. Anthony, who was arrested shortly after the incident, was released from jail after his bond was reduced from $1 million to $250,000. Under his bond conditions, Anthony is required to wear an ankle monitor and ask permission to leave his home. If Anthony violates any conditions of his bond, he will have to return to jail. One of the central legal questions will be whether Anthony acted in self defense. The defense team, led by attorney Mike Howard, has laid the groundwork for the argument. So we got to wait a whole year. We gotta do a whole year, y'all. I think, well, I don't know how they schedule court cases. I'm sure there's a lot of legal stuff going on in Texas. That's why we're getting this case a year later. Also, I just think they want to lay out the case properly. They want to make sure everything is set the way it needs to be set. Listen, I ain't got no more excuses for these people. I'm bored. I was hoping we at least, January, you know, January. But June, we gotta wait a whole year. Like, all right, fine, whatever. Um there's that. Charleston White is still, cheerleading, batshit out of his mind. Karmelo Anthony's father has been spazzing out in some lady's DMs. Her name is Sarah, I believe. And Sarah has just been telling the truth, So, I don't understand why, all the screaming and bitching and moaning. Like, Sarah's just doing her job. Let Sarah do what Sarah does. Yeah, anyway, moving on to a state that I miss dearly, and apparently other people do as well. What is that squealing sound? Please hold. One of my fans went rogue on me. Live to live, people. Welcome to live to live. Where are we? All right, cool. So MacArthur Park. I don't think if there's a plural on that. But troops and federal agents briefly descend on LA's MacArthur Park in a largely immigrant neighborhood. That is correct. Los Angeles, federal officers and National Guard troops fanned out around a mostly empty Los Angeles park in a largely immigrant neighborhood on foot, horseback, and military vehicles on Monday for about an hour before abruptly leaving an operation that local officials said seemed designed to sow fear. The Department of Homeland Security wouldn't say whether anyone had been arrested during the brief operation at MacArthur Park. Federal officials did not respond to requests for comment about why the park was targeted or why the raid ended abruptly. About 90 members of the California National Guard were present to protect immigration officers, defense officials said. Quote, what I saw in the park today looked like a city under siege, under armed occupation, said Mayor Karen Bass. Oh, Lord, I can't stand this woman. Who showed up at the park alongside activists. She said there were children attending a day camp in the park who were quickly ushered inside to avoid seeing the troops. Still, Bass said an 8-year-old boy told her that he found ice. He was fearful of ice. Oh, if y'all don't leave me alone with this crap. Let's be clear. If you've ever been to MacArthur Park, which I have when I lived in LA, it's you could see how beautiful, like if you stand there in the park, you can see how beautiful the park once was. Like once upon a time, this was a beautiful park. It was amazing. People really came in here to enjoy this little piece of nature in the middle of LA proper. Not anymore. Not so much anymore. Because of course, what comes with letting all of these people in and all of these big time socialist policies, crackheads, homeless people, filth, swill, all types of things that you don't want in your neighborhood ends up there. Why? Because people think they have to save all the hoes in the world as opposed to preserve the beauty of your community. Here's a Fox News piece where they broke it down a little bit more and probably a lot more eloquently than I ever could. Carrie Lake.
But Monday, ICE raided MacArthur Park in Los Angeles. I used to live out that way. Dems have been gaslighting the American people on this story so hard. We saw Swalwell saying that it's not a war zone, it's a playground, a picnic spot, a community spot. In reality, MacArthur Park is a dump.
Facts.
It is a migrant camp. The residents living in the area hate the park. It's full of drugs. It's full of illegals in their tents. It's full of graffiti and needles. Look at this. This is some of the video that we've seen here from recently from this park. Just last week, a body was found in the lake that you just saw. Wow. And ICE is going in there and cleaning it up. And you have Democrats claiming that this is such a beautiful park. How dare you come through here?
Gorgeous.
You know, if you've been to Southern California, I have many times, it's looking more and more like a zombie apocalypse between the drugged out people who are roaming the streets and the illegals that have taken over. And the people of California are welcoming this. Now, the Democrats and the radicals on the left might be acting like this is terrible, but I'm telling you, the people, including Democrat citizens, are happy to see this cleaned up. We've got to bring California back, and it's going to take some strong law enforcement actions like we're seeing right now.
Yeah, whatever Karen Bass is upset about, you can assume that a majority of the people in the city of Los Angeles and in Greater California are probably happy about it. Even if they voted for her, they're probably saying, man, this is kind of nice to clean all this nonsense up. Carrie, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, no lies told. Like I said, you could stand in that park and you're like, wow, this was once a beautiful park. Now it smells like piss. People are relieving themselves from the front door and the back door. There are homeless people all over the park. You can't even enjoy it. You can't even sit there and just like meditate, pray, chill out, go for a run without being harassed for money or something. Drug addicts all over the place. It is literally that bad. It's literally Skid Row 2.0. Like all the rejects from Skid Row end up at MacArthur Park, or during the day they come from Skid Row and go over to MacArthur Park. It's just disgusting. It's an absolutely disgusting park. And so, and as a person who's been there, who lived there almost 7 years, yes, they said nothing wrong. They said nothing inaccurate. They said nothing incorrect. So please spare us the gaslighting and the BS and the foo-la-la around how wonderful the park is and how beautiful. No one's enjoying that park. You avoid that park at all costs, and you damn sure don't go in that park after a certain time. It's literally a sundown park. And like you just said, they just found a body in the damn lake. Really? But this is the ghetto heaven. No, this isn't the ghetto heaven that people signed up for. And it's a damn shame to take such a beautiful park. You could just, it's beautiful little knickknacks in there too as well. And I think they have a stage in there on in that park as well, which is never used, obviously, because no one can go sit there and enjoy anything because you'll probably be attacked by a homeless person. So please stop. These Democrats, when are they ever going to get it? Will they ever get that it is their policies that are destroying their neighborhoods, their states, their cities? When do you start listening to your constituents? You talking about people listening to the people. Y'all don't listen to the people who vote for y'all, because y'all have just enough of the idiots on y'all side to keep y'all in office. But the people who are really telling y'all, look, this isn't working, y'all don't listen to them. And y'all don't care to listen to them. Because as long as you can get elected, it doesn't matter what that little group over there might think. But once it starts to affect how people vote and who they vote for, yeah, y'all will start making changes, because y'all know that park's a shithole. Just like what was the other park in LA? I forgot the name of it. Was it North Hollywood Park? There's a park that's in the valley though. there's another park. I can't remember the name of it though. Same deal. You could tell it was once a beautiful place where people went and with their families and had a good time, and summers were amazing. And now, hell, literally, what do they call zombie apocalypse? As they said, that's literally what you're getting. All right, so let's transition. Oh, wait. I don't want to do that one yet. So remember other day we were talking about Shannon Sharp. Well, there's an update. Hold on. Apparently he did go to hold on. There's a link. Where's my link, people? There it is. So the lawsuit is sort of gone forward. It's a little weird. Apparently Homegirl's counsel didn't show up. She didn't show up, but Sharp's counsel showed up. So let's see what happens next. Hold. There we go. Boo bit what you got. Da, 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 da. And singing in the background. All right, cool. Why didn't this hide? Hide. You go away. Thank you. Please. Attorney for Shannon Sharp's accuser a no-show in court for first hearing. This is in Las Vegas. Well, this is reporting from Las Vegas. The first hearing in the lawsuit against Shannon Sharp took place Wednesday in downtown Las Vegas. A woman filed the anonymous lawsuit suing the Pro Football Hall of Famer for $50 million, accusing him of sexual assault and battery. However, no attorney showed up on behalf of her behalf for the first hearing. Clark County District Court Judge Anna Albertson expressed her disappointment in court that no legal representation was present for the plaintiff. Now, I'm no genius, but if I'm suing somebody and I've been assaulted and all of this, there's no way I'm missing that court. There's no way my counsel's going to miss the court either. Robert Drakovich, a criminal attorney in Nevada who is not a representative on the case, called the move to not appear strange and not in the accuser's best interest. Whether to set up a settlement conference or to set hearings for litigation, you'd expect all parties to be present. Exactly. I can't see a tactical advantage to be gained by failing to appear. For Sharp's team, one representative, attorney Robert DeMarco, appeared in court on his behalf. DeMarco said the other attorneys on the case were busy handling other cases out of state at the moment. Sharp's legal team is mainly composed of lawyers from New York. That's right. You got to get you some New York Jews on your team, baby. Drakovich shared the perspective that is not the best move to have legal representation from out of state, since the civil lawsuit was filed in Clark County. Quote, generally, it's better to have homegrown counsel. New Yorkers could thrive anywhere. That's how I know you're not a New Yorker. He told 8 News Now, explaining that there are intricacies in our system that a Nevada-based lawyer would understand best. Okay, that's understandable, but it's Nevada. Calm down. If you have a matter pending in Nevada, it's best to have Nevada counsel. It's best to have a lot of money, and you can hire whoever the hell you want. How about that? Interesting. I thought I had a video from Law and Crime. It's my favorite channel these days. But apparently, I do. This video is 25 minutes. Oh, we're only going to watch like a minute of it. But roll it. Ish.
At a first court appearance in a $50 million rape and abuse lawsuit, Shannon Sharp's legal counsel showed up, but the plaintiff's legal team, not so much. The surprise no-show raises some serious questions about the future of a case already loaded with explosive allegations and high-stakes drama. We are going to break down how all of this unfolded, what could come next in a lawsuit that is tangled in celebrity controversy, and what we should be thinking about as we talk next moves for Shannon Sharp. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
I thought I cut
The
all
first
this out.
hearing in the explosive $50 million civil lawsuit against Pro Football Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe took an unexpected twist on July 9th, 2025, and that is when apparently no attorney representing the plaintiff showed up at the Clark County District Court out in Nevada. Unusual, potentially damaging, we're going to discuss that, but you have to start asking questions about the direction, maybe the stability of a lawsuit that's delivered more than its fair share of surprises since first grabbing the headlines several months ago. Now, before we dive into the latest developments, got to do a little bit of a rewind here. So the lawsuit that was filed on April 20th, 2025 by prominent Houston attorney Tony Busby on behalf of an anonymous woman in her 20s contains graphic allegations against the former NFL tight end turned media superstar Shannon Sharpe. And the complaint alleges that Sharpe engaged in what is essentially a pattern of sexual violence and psychological abuse during what began as a consensual relationship with the plaintiff, who, by the way, is apparently more than 30 years his junior. According to court documents, the plaintiff met Sharpe at a Los Angeles gym when she was just 19 years old, and the lawsuit claims that Sharpe, quote, incessantly pursued the young woman, demanding her phone number, eventually asking her to visit his home. And most disturbingly, possibly, is the filing alleges that Sharpe required this woman to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, before their first meeting.
That's usual.
Although this
That's
request is
typical.
something she repeatedly refused. Now, the relationship, according to her, allegedly turned abusive, verbally screaming at or berating her, violent sexual episodes, control. But the most graphic allegation describes Sharpe allegedly sexually assaulting and raping her.
So yeah, if you've been violated in that way, why are y'all on no show? Also, what I don't understand is if you were violated in that way, why didn't you file criminal charges? Why are you going for the money? And that's what I never understand, especially the ones that are within the statute of limitations. So why not pursue the criminal stuff and then the civil stuff? You went right for the jugular. This man was about to sign $100 million contract, and all of a sudden, here you show up. And we all know Shannon Sharpe is not, his hands are not clean. Let's be clear. Like Jason Whitlock said, this man has a file at Fox Sports, a file of misconduct at Fox Sports. So he's no saint. So we're not saying Shannon Sharpe is poly pure pussy here. That's not what's being said. So let's be very, very clear. But when it comes to these type of situations, especially if they're within the statute of limitations, the first thing I want is your ass in handcuffs. I want you to go to trial, and I want you convicted, and I want you serving a long sentence. That's what I want first. Then after we do that, we could talk about money if we want compensation or whatever. But to go right for the compensation and then to not show up, that tells me either this is a really weak case or you have some really incompetent lawyers and you need to change counsel, because not showing up for a high profile case like this, that's not a good look. You went after this man. You ruined him getting one of a very lucrative podcast deal. You that was ruined because of this BS. His corporate, his ESPN Disney relationship strained because of this. So if you're gonna do all that, be thorough, follow through, right? Because ESPN wants to fire him, but Shannon like, nah, you got to buy me out. I'm not leaving unless you buy me out. And so you have the privilege of taking a hiatus, which is fine, do you? But to sit here and say all of these terrible things happened and you knew for at least what was that? You knew for at least a couple months that this was on the docket. And we're sitting here today wondering where the hell you are. Where's your counsel? So we'll follow up on this, but it's just funny that we were just talking about this and now we have a follow up. But let's move along to wait, what's oh yeah, that's where we are. Okay, so is there or isn't there? Let's revisit the Epstein. So the latest in the Epstein saga is we have our very fine attorney. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Alan Dershowitz has come forward on the Sean Spicer show to say that yeah. No. We there are files. We just can't reveal them.
This is not an opinion. This is a fact. I have seen. Remember, I was accused falsely on the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed.
So basically what we've been saying. Now, why?
And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know.
I hate when people do that. I'm bound by confidentiality. Then what the hell was the point of bringing this up? If you're not going to give us the we don't care that you were what's the legal term? I don't know. You weren't railroaded through the Epstein mess. We want the names. Or just shut up about it. Like, I would prefer people just shut up about it, right? As opposed to trying to gaslight or trying to just get a little bit of media attention, get a couple viral clips or whatever. I'd rather you just shut up about it. If you can't disclose anything, then what's the point of talking? Everybody needs a microphone.
But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them. And that's wrong.
So I could think of this two ways. Donald Trump is playing a masterful game of chess right now, or the documents were really destroyed, or there's another or. Pam Bondi needs to be fired. Because I believe she was really like, other than what's the Frankenstein looking one who what was his name from Florida? The Frankenstein looking one who Trump originally put up. What was his name? It's right there, and I cannot think of the damn man's name. But anyway, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this. But also, I'm not gonna act like it's like, oh my gosh, all the great things that have happened so far. This does not wipe everything off the table. This doesn't cancel everything else out. And so I'm just we're making this a bigger issue. Because okay, say yes, Matt Gaetz. Thank you. Matt Gaetz. Yes, I couldn't remember that man's name to save my life. But so if Uncle Frankenstein got in there, I don't know if it would be any different. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, we're bored. I'm bored. I just think, like Trump said earlier this week, there are a lot of great things happening in the administration. This is just something y'all gonna have to get over. So whether the files exist, whether they don't exist, whether they were destroyed, whether they're being suppressed, whatever's happening, it ain't gonna happen anytime soon. So we might as well just move on to the next thing, and then we could talk about this down the line. And then also, here's the thing. Once we get the names and all of that, what are we gonna do with it? What are we gonna do with it? What's the end game here? To just expose people? Or is the end game to really like do something about it? Because I'm a little confused. I don't know about statute of limitations, any of that other stuff, but what is the point? What is the point of getting the list? So what do we do once we get it? Mm-hmm. And yeah, Pam Bondi, it was also messed up to have all those influencers run out with the binders, dancing and acting like fools, only to find out there's nothing in the binder they hadn't heard before. That was also the messed up thing. But hey, it is what it is.
Just out of curiosity, without names, are these politicians, business leaders, both?
They're everything. And let me tell you, a lot of them are, at least one of them is somebody who was accused. Others are accusers. And the judges have said, if somebody calls themselves a victim, we're not going to give any information about them, but they may not be victims. They may be perpetrators. So we don't have information about false accusers. And we know there have been many false accusers who have accused innocent people for money, and those records are being deliberately, willfully suppressed, and they shouldn't be suppressed. If the accusation is allowed out, so should the material that diminishes the credibility of the accuser. We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one.
So no redaction. So if you're a victim in this case and you were an underage girl, we should know your name. It's a little weird. That's weird. Again, we get the files. They're unredacted. What do we do next? What's the next step?
I waive any of my rights of privacy. Anything there is about me, I'm happy because it will be exculpatory, because I know I haven't touched a woman other than my wife from the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even hug people, but I was falsely accused and I was able to prove it. And I was able to prove it through documents. And I want other people to be able to disprove false accusations through documents. But these documents are being suppressed and withheld.
Okay. I mean, mm, mm, eh, meh, blah. I'm just not. I don't care. That's my honest reaction. I just don't care. Like, release it, don't release it. Do whatever you need to do to make your life better. I don't know. But again, once we get the files, what's the next step? Okay, once you know person X or Y is on the list, what do you do with the information? And I don't think Trump's on the list. I don't think Trump's on the list. So, and that was one of the I was arguing about. Oh, I got unfollowed, by the way, yesterday. Quickly. So I like when people like say they're not libtards and then they act like libtards. So I said on X, and then I screenshot it and posted it across. I said, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? I said, Trump, please give these monkeys the Epstein list so we can move on to bigger and better things. And I meant it. I absolutely meant it. I meant it with every fiber of my being, because at this point, what do we gain? What do we set to gain from it? So this dude, apparently we were mutuals on Instagram. Listen, more than likely, if we're mutuals, I don't care if I say this. And I don't know why we're mutuals. I really don't care. So he goes into the comments of the video. This is on Instagram. This is when I posted a screenshot. And he's like, well, didn't you want this? Like, no. I was like, show me the content that I made where I had an Epstein series and why we need to release it. And I've never I don't care. This wasn't one of the reasons why I voted for Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Do it, don't do it. It's great. It's like one of those additional things. Like if you do it, great. But I want the border sealed. I want these taxes lowered. I'm talking about real life stuff. I don't give a fuck. Seeing the Epstein list, what is that gonna do for me personally? Not a damn thing, right? It doesn't affect my life one way or the other, right? Now for victims and all of that stuff, if you're an advocate, that's your lane. You do that. That ain't my lane. So release it, don't release it. Don't really care. It ain't my trauma. But if that's, and then someone else wrote, and so I what did I said something to the effect of, show me where in my content that I'd said that, and then and I made it clear that it's not there, so you don't have to go fishing for it. And then I call him hashtag libtard. Oh, he couldn't focus. He couldn't focus after that. Once you call him, oh my gosh, see, this is what I'm saying. The left and the right are just the same. And then, you know, when you get tagged on Instagram, you get a DM with your tag. And so I was like, oh, he called me a libtard. I said, but you still didn't respond to what I actually said, right? Right. You didn't take accountability for the fact that you made an assumption. You made a whole assumption about me. And you got corrected. But instead of you take the correction, which many people have, I will say that, who will say something to me and they will take the correction gracefully. But the fact that you were just so fixated on libtard and then you started acting like one. So was I wrong? I mean, if you're not a libtard, you wouldn't act like one, right? I'm just saying, you know, if it squeals, it's probably a pig. I'm just saying. So no, the Epstein has never been at the top of the list. It's never been up there. Like with one of the reasons why I supported Trump, voted for Trump, anything. I don't care. Release it, don't release it. Moving on. All right. So I believe this Sunday is the 1 year anniversary of this iconic photo and this moment in American history that could have gone absolutely another way. And I think many of us in the chat are grateful that it went the way that it went and something else didn't happen. And in the aftermath of that, we have some Secret Service members who got some splaining to do. Oh man. Secret Service suspends 6 agents tasked with protecting Trump during July 2024 assassination attempt. And then y'all remember the DEI hire director, right? And she went up there to testify and she had no answers. And she bobbed and weaved and deflected and bobbed and weaved and deflected. And like, how the hell are you a leader? And you have no answers. None. You have none. For why agents watch this person climb a ladder with a rifle, crouch down with a rifle, take aim at the man whose life you are charged to protect. And y'all didn't do a damn thing until the shots rang out, which then harmed people in the audience. 6 Secret Service agents were suspended without pay following a gunman's attempt to take President Trump's life at a Pennsylvania rally last July, the agency confirmed to Fox News. The suspensions affected supervisors and line-level agents and ranged from 10 to 42 days without pay. 10 to 42 days. Wait a minute. 10 days? 10 days for a failure that catastrophic? 10 days. The disciplinary action took place in February, the Secret Service said, which confirmed the news because a Senate report on the failures in Butler, Pennsylvania is set to be released any day. So these people already served their suspensions and all of that stuff. No agents were fired, as the Secret Service told Fox News that the entire agency failed rather than individuals. Okay. Trump is what, 6'2", 6'3"? You have this fat female standing there on the stage. She's not outside like doing crowd control or something. She's near the most essential. She's in one of the most essential spots. And she's not taller than the client. And then when you if you remember the events of that day, it was her and it was another agent, and then you can clearly, then the agent couldn't get, she was so incompetent. She couldn't figure out where the hell her gun went on her belt. I'm just like, okay. This must have been like the scraps they gave Trump. They must have given like, okay, look, I don't care if you want more women. They have to be competent women. I don't care if you want more of this or that or whatever. They just have to be competent. This was just ridiculous. And the fact that nobody except the director lost her job is crazy. Like, who assigned these people to the post that like, who assigned them to this? Who assigned her to that post that day? She holding on to the president like he's supposed to help her. Oh, good cheese and bread. Matt Quinn, the agency's deputy director, told CBS on Wednesday that they weren't going to fire their way out of this, but did say they are laser focused on fixing the root cause of the problem. Quinn told the outlet that those who were suspended were replaced in restricted roles with less responsibility once they returned to the job. He said the disciplinary actions were in accordance with the federally mandated process. So in other words, they're like watching like the dog or something. Okay, that's fine. You do need people for that. That's like, you know, you're not going to get the high power jobs. You're not going to get the more important jobs, which is a good thing. And you should probably train, and you should probably have a fitness requirement, which I'm sure there is for the Secret Service. So the fact that you have fat Secret Service agents is really disappointing. No Secret Service agent should be fat. None, not one, not a one. You should be fit. You should be ready to go. And if you're not tall enough, then this shouldn't be your client. See how that works? But y'all so busy trying to put diversity hires in high ranking areas where they don't belong. You don't belong here. Sure, great. Be a Secret Service agent. I don't care. But sitting here acting like you didn't belong there. The agency faced heavy criticism following the security failure, which allowed gunman Thomas Crooks to open fire on the rally stage in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, 2024. Corey Compratore, a 50-year-old firefighter, father, and husband, attended the rally, was killed while Trump's ear was grazed by a bullet, and 2 men were injured by gunfire. Crooks was killed by a Secret Service sniper who just conveniently forgot to look, even though people were yelling, hey, there's someone crawling. Hey, that guy is crawling up there. You might want to catch him. Hey, you might want to get this dude. He's about to do something nefarious. And what's so crazy is if any of those people had ran over to where that dude was, they would have gotten in trouble with the Secret Service. Isn't that something? Quote, Secret Service is totally accountable for Butler, Quinn said to CBS. Butler was an operational failure, and we are focused today on ensuring that it never happens again. He also said the agency is focusing on the, quote, root cause of the operational failure and fixing the deficiencies that put us in that situation. Since the Butler rally, Quinn said the Secret Service has introduced a new fleet of military-grade drones and mobile command posts to improve radio communications with local law enforcement. The agency faced more criticism weeks later when a second assassination attempt on Trump took place in West Palm Beach, Florida. Though it was stopped, then Secret Service Director Kimberly Sheetal, that was her name, resigned, and the agency underwent several investigations and congressional hearings. A bipartisan House task force released a 180-page report in December stating that the incident in Butler was, quote, preventable, citing, quote, pre-existing leadership and training issues that created an environment where security failures were possible. In the report, lawmakers pointed out that the Secret Service did not coordinate or plan well with local law enforcement. Yeah. We only have one of the most hated political figures coming out here in the middle of nowhere. And CNN streamed none of Donald Trump's rallies except the Butler rally. What the hell would CNN be interested in the Butler rally for? All the other high profile cities he did rallies in, but Butler, Pennsylvania is the rally you stream. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? And then, if I don't know if y'all remember, after the shots rang out, there was a woman standing behind Trump who started to record it. Did we ever find out who that woman was? Did we ever find out who she was? Because that's not a natural reaction when gunfire breaks out and you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know if you can get hit. Anyone can get hit. You don't know. So I got questions. I got a lot of questions. But that's why you were suspended, because it was complete incompetence all across the board, from the top down, from the director and everybody out there that day. Incompetence. So I'm gonna play a breakdown of it's very detailed, and it basically highlights just how catastrophic the Secret Service failed. And so yeah, let's do that.
He was doing his job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place with a gorgeous ocean.
Wait. This day still is very haunting. I don't know. It's just very weird. I never not get goosebumps.
He was doing his job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place with a gorgeous ocean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Why should she have to even say it twice? The moment that woman said he's on the roof, President Trump should have been rushed off that fucking stage. The moment that was said, sir, we got to go. Sir, we got to go. Nobody. Agents are just having a sandwich.
It's much tougher than if it happened. You went right on the roof ever. In recorded history, we're the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys
I hate this moment.
have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit over that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that
says totally avoidable. I just hate shit that's avoidable. When you have a high profile client like this, so you're never going to convince me that this wasn't a setup. Number one, as I said, CNN is streaming this. They've streamed none of the other rallies. What was it, 100 and something rallies? Streamed none of them. All of a sudden, Butler, Pennsylvania? Who heard of Butler, Pennsylvania before this day? Oh, let's do the Butler rally, really. Then again, you have the woman right behind him. She's unfazed. She just pulls out her phone and starts recording. Ma'am, there are gunshots ringing out. Your reaction shouldn't be to pull out your phone. People are yelling at the Secret Service and law enforcement saying, hey, there's a dude up here. There's a dude with a whole arsenal of shit on him. And y'all mean to tell me y'all just gonna sit there and wait till it happens? Inside job. My theory, the Secret Service director was in on it. She knew it was going to happen. And the agents probably didn't know, but they follow the commands, right? That's it, you know. And this was all orchestrated. And then the fact that this dude faded into oblivion, we still don't know much about him. Weird. It's weird.
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
We got breaking news. Coming in. Seems to be shots.
And they thought he was, we all thought he was, right. And when he popped up.
At the Trump rally. We don't know if President Trump has been shot. We know he hit the ground. We do not know if President Trump has been shot. He's up. He's up.
Fight.
Shots are still continuing to be fired. He's giving a thumbs up, everybody. He's giving a thumbs up.
Woo! still. I forgot how long it took for him to get up because nobody knew what happened. They just saw, we just heard gunshots, him go down, and we was like, oh shit, they really did it. They really did it. Wow. Whew. And I think this was really a watershed moment. This was a turning point in his campaign. This was a turning point in American politics. And even though they tried to lie, and you had that bald head monkey Joy Reid saying, "Oh, well, it was, this was staged. It was staged." Why the fuck would that be your go-to in a moment like this? It was staged. Yeah. I'm gonna choreograph somebody shooting live rounds at my head and hope they get it right. I need y'all to hear yourselves. I'm going to turn my head and I'm going to say, and then you go. I did a whole AI sketch on this, like how liberals thought Trump planned this whole thing. I got to of course TikTok took it down, but it's on Instagram. I got to revive it. Y'all are pathetic. Y'all are ridiculous. Now, you also have to imagine in this moment, a man has been shot, fatally injured, and 2 other people have been injured. So imagine, and the goosebumps again, being in the crowd and you're injured, but Trump gets up and everybody's screaming and yelling and you're on the ground like, help me. You have no idea what the hell's going on. So to say that this was staged and a man lost his life and 2 other people were critically injured, it's irresponsible, is what it is. It's pathetic, quite frankly, to play these. This is just one of those moments where you don't play politics. If this was Barack Obama, I would have the same reaction. There is no place for this. Right? We could disagree. We could have ideological differences. We could say, I don't like this bill or that policy or this. I don't care. But still, you have a family who would like you to come home tonight, right? Okay, cool. I don't have to like your policies. Wow, this is so detailed. He should have been off that stage. He should have been off that stage. In fact, no. He should have never been on the stage. Homeboy was already acting weird. And they were already saying there was somebody who was acting weird. Trump should have never been allowed to go out there that day. But here's the thing, you can't stop God's plan. It was all designed. It was designed for him to win in 2016. It was designed for him to have the election stolen from him in 2020. It was all designed. Because that allowed him to regroup and really plot it out the way he really saw it in his head. And he spent 4 years campaigning. 4 years. and then turned it up after 4 years of 3.25 years campaigning in the last stretch where you are the most exhausted. He turned it up, did more, went more places, did more things, did more rallies, did more press conferences, did more of everything, kissed more babies, all the stuff. So if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what the hell will.
Breaking news right now. This is Vanessa Broussard reporting to you live from Butler, Pennsylvania. We hear shots fired at the rally. Not
Look on the right. See the dummy can't get her gun in her holster.
10 to 15 minutes after President Trump.
She's scared. She's scared. She's scared. She's not a warrior. She's fat. That's why she couldn't find where the gun holster was, because her fucking muffin top was blocking the gun holster. And I don't care. There should be no fat Secret Service agents. I made it very clear. That's like hiring a fat personal trainer. Why the freak would I want my personal trainer looking like Lizzo?
Right? He hit the ground.
So then she couldn't get it in the holster, and she just held it because she can't take her eyes off. She has to keep scanning.
Heard of yet if he has been hit by gunfire. Secret Service quickly erupted.
We can see the guy there.
The snipers on the building behind the.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
What a day. And Bree guessed it right. So when I created, I should have had her. So I created a shirt, and actually, because I do these Trump albums, so like all his iconic photos, well, some of them, I'll make like an album out of it, and I'll put like a track listing on the back. And on the back of this particular one, it's called Fight. The album's called Fight, and then it's like a track listing, and then there's like an image in the back that's like shadowed out. And I was asking people like, yo, I'll send you a free t-shirt if you could guess what this image is. And people saying all types of things. Blah, 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 blah. Finally, Bree got it. Bree was like, yeah, well, she guessed a few times. Then she got it. She said, was that the shooter? Yep, that's that motherfucker. I made him famous. Oh, I should have had an image of the shirt handy, but you can get it at AJsRANT.com. It comes in a t-shirt, and it comes in a hoodie form as well. And it's one of my faves. It's one of my faves. I should actually wore it. But anyway, that's that. Obviously we know what happened. Donald Trump did not get assassinated. It did not happen. They did not get what they want. And so they had to resort to the usual typical stupid stuff that they do. Democrats are lost. Democrats have no mission, no vision, and no leader. And this is why you lost the 2024 election, because you couldn't even come together in a moment of tragedy like what we just saw. Whoever put that video together, I don't know who put that video together, but that was pretty brilliant to be able to capture all of those moments. All of this stuff happens simultaneously, and capturing all these different perspectives, that takes talent. And to have the former president at the time of the United States, laying on the ground, and you don't know if his head has been blown off, you don't know what the hell has happened. And for him to get up and create that moment, unrehearsed, your fave could never. Your fave could never. And so I'm doing like research on like the I'm coming up with like a countdown, top 20 Republican presidents, and not 20 because we haven't had 20 Republican presidents, top 10 Republican presidents ever. And so I'm doing research on that. And did you know that of 3 out of the 4 presidents that have been assassinated were Republicans? Mm-hmm. And the 2 who and those 4 were including JFK. So JFK is the one Democrat. And then the 2 who got attempts on their lives when they weren't president were Republicans as well. But I thought Democrats were the peaceful ones because even Democrats killed JFK, let's be clear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But y'all ain't ready for that conversation. And then you have Jasmine Crockett's fat ass coming out here talking about, well, the shooter in Pennsylvania was he wasn't a Trump supporter. He was a registered Republican. But let me break this down right quick. I know we over time, we got to go. But being a Republican, being MAGA does not mean you're Republican. MAGA is Democrat, it's liberal, it's all types of people, right? Who have one mission. Right. That's it. MAGA is not a Republican. It started out Republican with Donald Trump, and then it sort of metastasized into this other thing where it's greater than Trump at this point, right? So being a registered Republican does not mean you're pro-Trump. And then when you find out that this person has donated to Act Blue, has supported Joe Biden, yeah, he was not our guy. He was not our guy. So because someone's a registered Republican does not mean they're a Trump supporter. Oh, there's several Republicans. Some I know personally who won't mess with Trump, no way. And that's fine. That's your prerogative. Do you? But I just, I'm just so bored. I don't have any more. That's why I haven't been live on TikTok all week. I just don't have no more. I had no more for the app. I don't have any more. I don't have any more because what's the point of spending 2 hours creating a video for nobody to see it? What's the point of going live if nobody's there? It's not me. You ain't gonna ever tell me it's me. I'll spare y'all the details of why it's not me. But it's not me. Right. It's not me. And so what's the point? For what? There's no growth. It's like trying to force something to work that ain't working. Now I'm gonna try again today at 4:00 allegedly. Before Trifecta Hour, which is tonight 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Trifecta Hour. It's also on X. So make sure you go subscribe over there. But it is what it is. It was what it was, and it is what it is. Yeah. So yes, Sunday is the first anniversary of the Democrats attempting to assassinate yet another president, and they were unsuccessful. And to say that turned their derangement up would be an understatement. And guess what? That's what happens when you try to play God. Because here was the plan, right quick. I know the plan was to snuff Trump out, put a weak Republican up. Biden steps down, Kamala steps up, she becomes the first female president. That was the plan. Because you know Trump has that zazazoo. Trump has that thing. Trump has it. He has the team. He has the vision. Trump has it, and y'all can never beat it. Fair. 2020 is a prime example. Y'all can't beat Trump fair and square. Y'all had to cheat. And now y'all up here being election deniers, which is hilarious. It's okay for y'all to be election deniers, but God forbid, 2020 happens. There's this mass mail-in voting, and all of a sudden the problem is the conspiracy theorists, the crazy MAGA people. Yes, female black president. Thank you, Belinda. We're bored. Democrats, how about you try this? Try this one. Authenticity. Try that one. Y'all pretend to be real, but y'all left the working class a long time ago. Y'all left the working class with Barack Obama. Y'all have become this elitist, spoiled brat, detached from reality, radical psychopaths. That's what y'all have become. And that doesn't work in national elections. So figure it out. And good luck next year in the midterms, and good luck in 2028. It was what it was. It is what it is. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Once again, remember to watch Trifecta Hour tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, how you can support the channel by going to AJsRANTroom.com. That is our official merch store, AJsRANTroom.com. That's how you can support the channel. Anything else? Any other house cleaning, housekeeping? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Operative word, share, and all of the above. Yep, exactly. We knew something nefarious was happening, and they used COVID as a crutch to steal an election. Right. And then you knew that courts couldn't hear the case because it's not in their jurisdiction. So, of course. But anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you are enjoying the sun and getting tans and all of the good stuff. And I will see y'all, those of you who are on TikTok with me, I will see y'all on the TikTok. And that's all. Have a great weekend. Peace out.